Vishnu Namaste Saraswati Devi. Hare Krishna. So we last Saturday we completed discussing third chapter. Right? Now we go into the fourth chapter. So Srila Prabhupada has named this as transcendental knowledge. Bhagavad Yoga. It's about Gyan, Divya Gyan. So let's see the next one. How this conversation is going on, right? In Arjuna and Krishna. So in third chapter, actually Krishna talks about Nishkam Karma Yoga, right? You can also speak in between, it's not a problem. Okay. So Krishna talks about Nishkam Karma Yoga, and so Nishkam Karma Yoga, in short, it is like doing yoga karma without any desire for self or personal satisfaction, only for satisfaction of the Supreme, right? As a sacrifice. Right? So what happens by that? Our heart purifies. Heart is impure because of attachment, right? Attachment to the results and desires. So once we give up the desires and attachment, the heart starts purifying. And when the heart starts purifying, what we get is knowledge, right? So Krishna touched this point, right, in 2025 to 27, that jnana depends. So he said, Arjuna, you better fight. You don't renounce because you are still, heart is not pure at this stage. Right? So then Krishna explained, like, even if your heart is pure, right, uh, pure, and you know the knowledge, still you should act. Why you should act? Just to set an example for others. And you should not disturb other peoples who are acting. And then Krishna tells about the attachment, that give up this attachment for this sense of objects. So every object has uh, attachment and aversion inbuilt in it. So I will like some object, I will like some food, somebody else will not like. So that object itself has that attachment and aversion, and that's how everything works. Rag and Dvesha. So rag is attachment to something, uh, attachment to do what is wrong, and Dvesha uh, is resistance to act what is prescribed. So it's opposite. Like we should do the activities that are recommended, but we try to avoid it. That's a dvesha. And activities that are forbidden, we do it. That is attachment. So attachment to wrong things and dvesha of the correct things. So this is how each sense object is made up of, right? And then Krishna also tells, like, okay, one who follows my teaching, he will attain the peace. But if you don't follow, you will get entangled. Right? So then Arjuna asked the question, okay, you are asking me to fight. This is better. But you told about jnana and everything, and attachment and aversion. But sometimes it happens that I know this thing is wrong. I should not do it, but anyway I do it. Right? So we had discussion last Saturday on this about the question, right? If I should feel I do those activities which are not supposed to be done, but I keep doing them. I feel guilty, ashamed of such things. Right? So we discussed that. Yeah, it's a process, right? it's abhyas. So we make mistake, we learn from our mistake, we try to improve, we keep doing. And feeling guilty and is a good sign, because if you don't feel guilty, then something wrong. So if you feel guilty, that's a good sign that at least you know what is to be done or I have done wrong. Right? But we should be compassionate to ourselves, because Krishna told like why people are because of the lust and desires. And these desires are how many? How many lifetimes we have these desires in ourselves, right? And it's not easy to overcome those lifetime of impressions and desires and practices. It's not an easy task to give them up. So we should be uh, trying to improve every time, but we should not be so much guilt. We should not have so much guilt that it's difficult for us to stand against that, right? Or we feel that okay, I cannot do this. Yeah, so only option is we surrender to Krishna. That okay, I am missing, I'm mistaking, I'm doing something wrong. Please help me, right? And then so that way at least we can cover up things. Then Krishna gives reason, right? Lust. Because of the lust or desire, we do these things. So then, from 39, last chapter, Krishna tells what actually lust does. Lust is in our mind, intelligence, and ego. And what it does, it covers our real knowledge, something which is real that we have. So lust, first thing lust does is it covers our real knowledge. And then once we are into ignorance, then then we will be uh, running behind the sense objects, right? And intelligence will not work, and mind will not work. It will just run after the senses. So this way the lust covers our knowledge, and then once the knowledge is gone, then we do activities those are not recommended. So Krishna also gives remedy, right? How to overcome this lust, right? Consider yourself. First, he tells, okay, start from sense control, because that is a gross thing. At least you can control that. So you start from there. And also, he gives you a real identity. Consider yourself higher. The soul or Atma is higher than intelligence. So, consider your real position and then act. So, here Krishna gives reference to the real knowledge. He's telling that the real knowledge is covered, and that's why we are into ignorance. Okay, so from these three shlokas, now Krishna continues the description. Right here, he gave the remedy how to overcome, and here he was speaking about the knowledge. Right. So now Krishna tells what is the real knowledge, and that's how we enter into the fourth chapter. So of course, Krishna's conversation is continuously going. So fourth chapter starts with Bhagavad Uvacha. So third chapter also Krishna ended. Krishna was speaking. Now it continues, right? So now in the fourth chapter, Krishna tells about what is the knowledge. Yes, Mataji, you had some question.
Yes, Prabhuji. Actually, the thing is, you said nicely that we should be little compassionate towards us. In the third chapter, in the 8th and 9th verse, Prabhupada talks about someone being a pretender. Like they are just putting, like in front of the world. But
Mhm.
actually, the thing is, like even Harimon Mataji was saying, like we offer gulab jamuns because we have the desire to eat them, and then we make them, and then we offer.
Mhm.
So, like um, the love for Krishna is there, but like I said, not in all the 9 practices. Like some practices, things win, other things win.
Yeah.
So how do we like know that we are whether we are pretender or not?
You see, like in Bhagavad Gita, why Krishna talks about several stages of yoga or several kind of people. Right? So Krishna knows it's not easy. So pretender, of course, Krishna is given the definition that okay, you restrict the senses, but your mind is thinking of them. So externally, you are showing that I am renounced, or I am not disturbed, or I am not affected, but internally you are disturbed. The mind is completely disturbed and you are thinking of the same thing continuously, but externally you try. So it's not transparent. It's not that what is inside you is not showing, right? So you are hiding something.
Yes, Prabhuji.
Ideally, it should be same, right? What you are, you should show to people, right? But in Kali Yuga, it is inbuilt. The hypocrisy is inbuilt in Kali Yuga. Okay, so many times, like I and she also have discussed, and she also says that I don't like hypocrisy. Why people behave like this? Why they don't be real? But this is inbuilt. If you see Bhagavatam 12th canto, the signs of Kali Yuga, hypocrisy is there. It will be there. And it will keep on increasing as the Kali Yuga progresses. Right?
Right,
So,
Prabhuji.
so first thing is we should not be surprised if we see hypocrisy, right? I'm talking about others and then we'll talk about ourselves. Okay.
Okay,
So,
Prabhuji.
okay. So first we get why we get disturbed because we see people talking something and doing something. The actions are different and talk is different. So we say, oh, come on, this is not real. You are not doing what you are talking. Or you are talking something, you are doing something different. So then this is hypocrisy. Yeah. Uh, and many times, like people don't show their real nature, right? It's hidden somewhere, and sometimes it comes out, and then we find that our friends are our enemies, or enemies are our friends. We have to consider other way around also. Okay, don't always think from one angle that friends become enemy. Sometimes no, but sometimes we see that enemies are our well-wishers. Whom I was thinking enemy actually was my well-wisher. That realizations also we get sometimes. Right? So hypocrisy is inbuilt, and that's why like Kali Yuga, uh, Bhagavatam says only option you have in all these situations is to take shelter of the name. uh, you chant the name of the Lord, right? That's the only shelter that will guide you how to overcome this, right? And in fourth chapter also this point comes, right? What is the austerity of knowledge, right? So this tolerating all these things, that itself is a sadhana. Okay, the hypocrisy of the people, hypocrisy of the situation, all these things we have to tolerate without reacting. Uh, of course, without reacting, I'm saying is a very different level of consciousness required, but at least we should know that I should not be surprised if there is hypocrisy. Okay. So this is about others. Uh, it's okay. People will behave like this, and Krishna has told like this. Bhagavatam has told this is what it will happen, right? So Bhagavatam is telling the truth, and that's what it is happening. So we should not be surprised. Okay.
Okay,
People,
Prabhuji.
okay, people will behave like this, and I have to tolerate it. No, I cannot do anything. I first thing is tolerate, and actually the struggle comes, right. Where the struggle comes is when we try to manipulate or we try to change the person. Okay, if somebody who was my friend is working in such a way that actually is creating problems for me, I try to go and change that person. Why you are behaving like this? You should not do like this. This is the correct way. This should not be done. You are doing it wrong way. You should do this way. Shastra says like, if you try to do this, we will win problem. We cannot change people. Krishna says to Arjuna also, right? Your nature will not change. Right? You are a Kshatriya. Even if you take sannyas, he told in second chapter, you will fight anyway, you will do something, Arjuna. So rather you do, right? So it's very difficult to change the nature of a person, swabhav that is inbuilt. So if some people are built like that, it's okay. That's how they are. They are going through their own purification, let them do. So we should not be disturbed. Okay. We have to practice this actually. And one thing we can do is when we see such things happening around us, and sometimes we becoming the victim of such situations, or our close ones getting victims of such situations. We should be, I will not say like many others say, like we should be thankful to Krishna that you are taking care of me. This is your mercy. I feel that is very theoretical. Okay. Just saying, but actually it's very difficult to implement that. When the trouble comes, you think like Kunti Devi, right? Oh, you give me more troubles, by that I remember you. Sometimes it is possible, but when the situations is like really challenging and demanding, many times we forget Krishna. Okay, that's the fact. Like we don't
Yes,
remember.
Prabhuji.
Yeah, we
Yes,
don't
Prabhuji.
remember. So that's why I never say like this. Okay, you should say in trouble, Lord Krishna, this is your mercy. No, many times we forget because we just carried away by that situation. We don't remember Krishna. We just think that I have to solve this problem. I have to solve this problem, right? So that is our situation, right? That is our conditioning. We are used to control by our means, right? So like like Bhanu Maharaj also told once, right? Okay, you will get carried away by the situations, right? Because of your nature, to control it, to control what is going wrong. So so that situation, in that situation, if you cannot remember Krishna, that means your other time is not utilized properly. Okay. So your time should be utilized in such a way that uh, all your life and all your thought process, all your activities somehow or other touch with Krishna, right? Touch with God. Somehow it should happen always. And that will give you practice of thinking about Krishna in difficult situation also. Okay. So that requires a lot of determination and seriousness and sincerity, right? And that will come slowly, right? You should not expect that to come in 1 year or 2 year or 10 years. Like sometimes it may come in one day, sometimes it may take years, right? That's fine. But we are on the path, right? So we should be patient with this also. That okay, yesterday I had problem, but I never remembered Krishna. After that I remember, okay, I understand. So I have to do my chanting better. I have to do my reading better. I have to read more, something like that, right? So this is all learning process going on, right? So it's okay if sometimes you don't remember. That's a practical thing I am telling you. It's very practical, very easy to say, but very difficult to do. Okay, so Krishna also has in Bhagavad Gita, we can see Krishna is very logical and very practical. And Arjuna is saying, oh, how come you say like this? That you should do what I say. But Krishna says in third chapter, no, you are saying this, we know this, but still we do wrong. Why? Then Krishna answers it that yes, Arjuna, yes, it is like that. In sixth chapter, Krishna says yes. Arjuna says you cannot control mind. No, Krishna says yes, you cannot. It's very difficult. So Krishna is also very liberal and he is very considerate that okay, you will fail, you will fail, but you keep doing. Huh? So this is about externals. So what about internals, right? You gave the example like I want to eat something, say gulab jamun. So I make it an offer, right? So in that case, my intention was not actually to uh, for Krishna. It was for me. Yes, it's there, but at least I had intention that once a gulab jamun is made, I am not so anxious or I am not so uh, impatient to eat it without offering. Right? So I offer it to Krishna before eating. That shows that okay, you had intention for yourself, but at least you remember Krishna, and before eating, you are offering it to Krishna. So that is the crucial point. Okay, you make it, but you offer it. So you sacrifice something. You sacrifice your desire to eat it as soon as possible. So that is what Krishna says. Okay, you make for yourself, but you offer me. Okay, so your intention is there, right? So I recently I heard in this lecture, right, when we go to temples, right, generally, and then I think we discussed this also, right? God, I want this job. Do something for my job. Please, you do something. I want this job. So
Yes,
when
Prabhuji.
so when we are doing this, actually, we are more attached to that job rather than God, right? So we go to God, but we are telling God, oh, you are God, I understand, but I am attached to this job, so I want this job. So we are giving that job more importance than maybe God. Okay, that is our situation. But Krishna says in any situation, moksha kama, any situation, you come to me. That itself is a sign of purification or sacrifice. Right? So, yeah, how can we say that I have a desires and uh, my views are very soft, right? Okay, I admit, okay, I want to eat, so I am making, but I will offer it to you and then I will eat. But please bear with me that, okay, I cannot overcome these desires. Fine, right? So then Krishna will think, okay, if this gulab jamun is making you so much attached to it, that, that you think of it first, then okay, I have to do something so that this attachment will go. No, Krishna will make something, right? So he will do some tricks or something. You get diabetes, then you cannot eat gulab jamun. Finish, right? So something like this. So it's fine. I think like pretender, Krishna tells that okay, if your mind dwells on the sense object, you are a pretender. Yeah, true. But Krishna is not saying that you reject that pretender. If you are a pretender, you are rejected, you are gone, and there is no chance of it. Krishna is not saying like this, right? Krishna is telling the fact, yeah, you are not honest, you are a pretender. Word looks very strong, or maybe that word itself gives a feeling that we are creating some crime or something like that, right? That word itself, pretender. But
Yes, Prabhuji.
should not take liberal meaning, right? It's like I look at it and you are not honest what you are. Okay, but at least you can be honest with Krishna. Like Arjuna said, like I call you my friend, I call you Krishna, please forgive me. He says like that, right? So it's okay. Krishna understands this, right? I don't think it's like we should try to be uh, very transparent and very, but we don't have to be orthodox or don't have to be very fanatic about it. Okay, because the more naturally you mold your bhakti, the more easier it will be for you to do it and execute it. Okay, if you don't do it organically as per your nature and swabha, there will be lot of struggle always at every step. Okay, so uh, I hope this point is clear. Like just be patient and tolerant with yourself also, and remember, okay, I'm doing something which is not ideal, but it is not rejected. Krishna has not rejected anyone, right? So even if you do this, like you are dear to Krishna because you are on path of bhakti, right? So it's okay. Sometimes you do like this. I don't feel it's much thing to be worried of, right? Slowly, we will get, when this knowledge comes, then we automatically give up the desires and we'll be happy with whatever we have. Gradually, it will happen, I suppose. It's not required to be enforced on ourselves. That's,
Understood, Prabhuji.
I hope it makes some
Yes,
sense.
Prabhuji. Because the part where you said he doesn't reject anyone, that is very consoling actually. Because the guilt and shame comes from the fact that Krishna can see through the intentions, whether we pretend to the external world or not, but Krishna can see through everything.
Yeah.
So that's when the guilt comes to face him. We choose something over Krishna. At that point, the guilt is where it sets in.
Yeah, but that's Krishna, right? He don't look at that, all those points. That is Krishna, right? He says, okay, you do, sometimes you do. Krishna's in Bhagavatam, it mentioned that Krishna is waiting for so many lifetimes, right? So he is happy that you remember him. That that itself is much, because how many people remember God, right? In
Yes.
Japan right now. So we are doing that. So that way we are on the path. Maybe it will take time, but fine. At least we are on the track, right? So we should be. That's what I say. Like, okay, be compassionate. Now, don't be hard on yourself that you did a mistake. Now you are calm. Nothing like that. Nothing
Yes.
like that. Okay,
Thank you so much, Prabhuji. Thank you.
no problem. Okay, so this is knowledge. What we have discussed is knowledge also, right? Krishna, knowing about Krishna, understanding Krishna's nature and how he tries to help us through Bhagavad Gita, through his behavior. That is what we say knowledge. And when we forget this, that is what we call ignorance. And that is the work of this lust, the different desires and attachments. Right? So now in the fourth chapter, when we enter, Krishna, in the first shloka itself, Krishna says, Imam Jnanam. So he says, this knowledge, right? So which knowledge? This knowledge that we have forgotten, that is covered by lust. That is the real knowledge. So Krishna says, I told this knowledge to sun god Vivaswan and then Manu, then Swaku. That's how it was. This knowledge was given, right? And I started this to Ishwaku, right? Sun god. Sorry, sun god. Because sun god, like sun planet, is the center of our everything, right? It's the main thing. So Krishna gave it to sun god, then he gave it to Manu, then Ishwaku. So these all are the leaders of the society, or Rajarshis, who are the kings of the society or kings of the planet, kings of the whole human. Manu is the king of whole mankind, right? So all these people, they need this knowledge. uh, so even if they are in this temporary world, need this knowledge how we should act, uh, and how this world is created, how this world is saved. So this knowledge was given by Krishna. So he's telling this is the actually Srila Prabhupada gives very clear calculation, right? So how many years back the Bhagavad Gita? It's not 5,000. It's much more years back the Bhagavad Gita was spoken, right? So that's where the fourth chapter starts, right? That this knowledge, which is the king, I gave this knowledge to um, sun god. And then Krishna mentions very important, powerful influence of time. And whenever I hear this powerful influence of time, I remember the D.R. Chopra Mahabharat, the that music and that I am Kala, right? So he's the time is picking. Actually, that's the right. So he says, "Sa kale neha mahata yogo nasta paranta." So by the great influence of the time, this knowledge or this parampara was destroyed. So now I am explaining this to you again, this knowledge. Please understand, I'm giving you this knowledge again because he gives three reasons. Why? Because friend, devotee, and it's a separate thing, right? So here we see the Kala, which is one of the factors that is discussed in Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Krishna tells like the influence of time is powerful, and by that influence, this parampara system was destroyed. This is how the time is. So many times we face several problems in life, right? And our elders like mother or grandmother, they used to say, okay, oh, if you let the time pass, he will be okay. Now he's not okay. After some time, he will be okay. So that is the influence of time. Yeah. So if I have some misunderstanding with somebody, I don't contact him, I don't talk with him for certain time and all. The intensity of the problems between these two individuals automatically reduces, because time has the power to destroy. So the parampara knowledge which is eternal, that was also destroyed by the influence of time. So our issues, our problems, our miseries, of course, that will go with the time. Huh? So when there are problems or there are challenging situations, we should be tolerant because that's not going to remain. It will change. And see, now the summer is going on, right? In Japan also we see it's hot. Like uh, recently, like last week, right? This year there was not much rain, right, in Kanto area. Other areas there was too much rain, and here there was no rain, and it's just too hot and too humid. What we can do, right? We cannot change the sunshine, cannot change the temperature, cannot do anything. So what we do, we tolerate. We don't go outside the house. If we sit in the house, we put fan or we put AC, something, and we tolerate. So we mold ourselves in such a way that we can tolerate this. So similarly, when there are problems in the life, uh, we should tolerate it. And we should make ourselves comfortable in a situation where we can tolerate it. Sometimes, like there are issues, uh, and like people say, like if there is fire, okay, somewhere there fire, like there are many wildfires going on, right? In Canada, in Australia, and all these places. Like so, the first approach, what everybody tells is till this border or this area, all the people will vacate. You go away from this place because the fire is going to come there. So nobody tells you, okay, you stay wherever you are, let the fire come. No. First option is you go away from the fire. uh, and then we'll see what to do. First, you save yourself. So first, what you do, you go to the safest position where you can be safe. So when the tsunami came, uh, all the announcement was, tsunami is coming, go to safe place. Uh, so a place which you think, where you will think that you are safe, right? So it should be logical, it should be practical, and it should be suggested or guided or instructed. So there are evacuation areas. So you go there, that is the safe place. Government has marked those areas as safe. So you go there, then you are safe. Right? Nobody tells that, oh, tsunami is coming, no problem, stay there. God will save you. No, it's impractical. That is the influence of time, right? The tsunami is coming and it will destroy, right? So it does not matter you are chanting or this because laws of nature, right? So we should not challenge those situations. So similarly, when our lifetime or in our life, in our day-to-day life, there are challenging situations and you think that it's very difficult to uh, tolerate, it's very difficult, or when you feel unsafe in that situation, or when your mentality gets more disturbed in that atmosphere or with those people or in that situation. What is best for you is first go into a safe position where you feel safe, you feel peaceful. You go there and then you think what is to be done. Yeah, because if you are not safe, you cannot do, you cannot think also. Right? So the first thing is needed is safety. That's what the fear factor will come. Otherwise, the fear factor will control you. Right? So you be safe, and then you think what is to be done. So the influence of time, if it destroys the eternal knowledge also, so we should not challenge unnecessarily. That's not what we call intelligence or smartness. Right? That we call stupidity or foolishness. So you are doing a foolish thing. You know you will be failure there, but still you are doing. So it's not the situation's problem. Your problem. Why you do that? Right. So similarly, we should be very. The Bhagavad Gita also tells us very practical things. Right. Just think what you are and can you tolerate, right? So to tolerate situations, we should be safe atmosphere. So sometimes it's okay to take a break, to go away from all the happenings and remold yourself, energize yourself. plan yourself, because the time factor is very strong, right? So here Krishna tells the knowledge itself is destroyed, the parampara is destroyed. So I am now telling you again this knowledge. And he gives three reasons: because you are my friend, and of course you are my devotee, and the third one is it's a very secret or private thing. So these are the three reasons. So sometimes there are questions like, okay, Arjuna is friend. What about Bhima? What about Yudhishthir? They are also friends. But if you see Mahabharata, if you see the relationships of Yudhishthir and Krishna, and Bhima and Krishna, and Arjuna and Krishna, it's different. Right? Arjuna and Krishna are very intimate friends. Yudhishthir or Bhima, they look Krishna as their guidance or protector. But Arjuna's relationship is very friendly. Uh, and in the friendly relationships, only you share the secret things. Otherwise, you don't share. So this is another lesson, right? Uh, when we are sharing something which is very dear to us, and which is very private to us, it should be with very intimate person. So Krishna had Yudhishthir, Bhima, Nakul, there are so many other friends or close friends, right? But he shared it with Arjuna because additional qualification is devotee. So he is devoted to Krishna, and Krishna knows that Arjun will do what I tell him. So that's a adhikar that we give to the next person. So Arjuna is chosen. That I am giving this so that this knowledge can start again. So now here, Arjuna's question again. Okay, you gave this knowledge to sun god, but sun god was born much before. Uh, how can you give this? So here we understand Arjuna's mental situation at this period. So he is totally bodily consciousness, right? That okay, I am this body, you are this body, and because we are in this body, so Krishna was how much? 125 years old sometime. So you and I are living for 100 years. That's what he's remembering. So this is ignorance, right? This is like considering yourself as a body, is looking at both of them. So then Krishna says, like, okay, Arjuna, there were many lifetimes which have gone. When we before this, I can remember all, you cannot. That is why that's the difference between you and me. And this is also Acharya says, like, Krishna has to do this. Though we are also soul. Krishna has to do this so that the pastimes can go on, right? Otherwise, if everybody remembers everything, then the pastimes will cannot go, right? But Krishna remembers, but still Krishna also forgets, right? So the Yoga Maya is doing that thing, that it makes Krishna forget what has happened. So he enjoys the same pastime in new energy, refreshingly. uh, but for our thing, what is covering us is ignorance, right? So that is the difference, right? So then Krishna tells, like, I come in my body, right? Avyaya. My body is never deteriorates, and I appear in my original form. So here the Prakriti word is used, but Prakriti means the another meaning is Swarup or Swabhav or original nature. Uh, so original nature of Krishna is spiritual and eternal. So he comes in that same form. So another way of looking at is Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur says, he comes as it is. So spiritual thing, there is no difference between soul and body. For us, soul and body is there, but not in spiritual. So Krishna comes in that form. Then Krishna tells about why he comes, right? So 4.7, 4.8 are the famous verses, right? Uh, these were used also by B.R. Chopra in Mahabharata at the beginning. So wherever there is decline of religion and rise of irreligion, I come. And then he tells Paritranaya sadhunam vinashaya cha dushkritam. So one thing, interesting point here we should remember is, Duryodhan was also an educated person. Hmm. He was also very knowledgeable in Shastra, and he also had studied the Shastra deeply. So when he was ruling the kingdom, he was ruling as per Shastra. It's not that he was ruling Hastinapur without following the religious principles and rules and everything. No, he was following everything. That we can see like in the battlefield, though Krishna himself he was there, Pandavas were there, but there were many kings who were on Duryodhana's side. Hmm. So they thought that Duryodhana is correct, right? Because Duryodhana was ruling the kingdom as per Shastra. And the problem happened when his knowledge got covered and he thought of himself, and he differentiated between himself, his family, and Pandava's family. There, the problem started, right? So the problem started when he considered Pandavas as a problem. And Pandavas are devotees. So now, if the devotee is a problem, then Krishna has to act. Right? So then Krishna says, okay, first thing is Paritranaya sadhu now. And so I come for my devotees to give them association, to give them rasa, to have pastimes with them. I come. So when I come, so then I also do Dushkuta, to kill the demons. See, killing demons is not a big thing for God, right? He's not required for himself to come. He can send anybody with special power to kill the demons. It's quite possible. Krishna can sit in his abode and send somebody to kill. But he takes this extra step, extra endeavor. Why? For the devotees. Right? So we see in Mahabharata, Krishna comes and he did so many wonderful pastimes in. Before coming to Mathura, right, he does wonderful pastimes in Vrindavan, and he comes to Mathura, and after killing Kamsa also, there are so many wonderful things and wonderful incidents between devotees, right, in Mathura, in Dwarka, and then in Hastinapur. We think that Hastinapur and all these things is all politics uh, between the two families, and Krishna gets involved in these politics. Yeah, that's one way of looking at it. But the other way of looking at it, right, is Krishna tells in this chapter, right, you don't expect anything from this world or anything from his actions, right? But why he gets involved in this? Because Pandavas are there, because Kunti is there, because Vidura is there, because Bhishma Devi is there, all his great devotees. Right? So he gets involved in everything. Uh, and he also is a Kshatriya, right? Vaishya and Kshatriya in Dwarka is the king. So he's a Kshatriya. So he gets involved in all this politics and he also does so many things. Why? Just to be with devotees, right? To be with Pandavas. He tries to save Pandav everywhere. Uh, he tries to guide them. So all this Mahabharata also, we should have a different eye or vision to look at it from a bhakti point of view, not only politics. Politics is there, but yeah, it's mixed with the devotion, and that is what Krishna enjoys. So Krishna comes for Paritranaya sadhuna, to save his sadhus, to save his devotees. Having said this does not mean that Krishna saves his devotees and is impartial to the enemies of the devotees, or is impartial to non-devotees or people who are not devoted to. It's not like that. On the war, those all who were killed, they were just liberated, just looking at Krishna on the battlefield. Right? So all the demons that Krishna killed, including Kamsa, uh, everybody, they got liberation, right? They merged into Krishna's body. They got the liberation. So Krishna is same to everyone. But he is more happy with devotees, and this is quite natural, right? So I have one son, right? Oh, there are his friends also are there. So I like both, all of them, but I'm more special towards Om because he is my son. Similarly for you all, right? Uh, so many people we come in contact, but my husband, my family, my wife, my mother, my kids, they are dear because you know that they are devoted to you. They are your part, and we are emotionally attached. So the same thing applies to Krishna. So when Krishna tells, like, okay, you understand my real nature of my appearance. Uh, If you understand this, then you will get liberated. He tells in 4.9, right? Just understand how I come in this world. It's not that I take birth and I die, uh, or I don't have to take birth because of karma, like jivas. Because we do some karma, we have to change the body. That's not applicable to Krishna. Krishna comes by his own will. uh, so it may happen that, oh, no, so like my body, next time I will have different body. So Krishna will have different body. No, Krishna will have different body, but that will be spiritual. uh. So he says, Srijami Aham. So what Srijami means what? He makes it visible. So the like now it's night in Japan, so I cannot see sun. Uh, that does not mean that sun is finished. No, sun is there somewhere else. Tomorrow morning again it will be visible. So Srijami Surya. So Surya will come, appear in front of it, will visible. Similarly, Krishna comes in different forms as per the requirement. He comes, and he comes means he appears or he shows that form. So whenever Krishna comes, all the energy is in Krishna. All the other forms like Ramchandra, Narsinga, Bor, Varaha, all the forms and all the energies are in Krishna. When Krishna appears in front of us, it's just that what he makes it visible. So sometimes he makes it visible, the Bor form, sometimes Varaha form, sometimes Narsinga form. Uh, But it's always spiritual. So Krishna is saying, like, if you understand this nature of my appearance and my activities, what is the activities? The pastimes with the devotees. Then you will get liberated. And he's saying that I'm not just telling this, many people have tried this. So then Krishna in the 10th shloka, he tells how you can get this, how you can understand this, right? My nature. So you have to do three things. Give up rag, bhaya, krodha. Hmm. So give up all these things, attachments and desires and possessiveness. Give up all this and surrender to me, absorb in me, take my shelter. That is what uh, will give you qualification to understand. So there is one very nice lecture I heard where it is mentioned that what is this actually? Absorb in me and take my shelter and give up this bhaya raga bhaya krodha. Right? So we have to think what is that I can sacrifice for Krishna. Sometimes we say, okay, I will give money, I will give my time, I will give my body, I will give my intelligence, everything. But money is what? It's the material thing, and that is also given by Krishna. Body is also given by Krishna. Intelligence also coming from there. I will offer flowers. So from where? I'm not going to create flowers. It's from the nature that is also created by Krishna. So what is that that only I have? huh, That I can give Krishna. huh, That we have to give to Krishna. So that is my heart, huh, my love that I have. I can give it to Krishna. That is what Krishna is looking at. it does not matter how much money or what you that is useful, that will give you benefits, but what is mine, I'm giving it to you, Krishna. So absorbing means that absorb your heart in thinking of Krishna. huh? And my shelter means I'm giving up my possessiveness, and that I will control my home, life, my family, my property, my car. I'm giving up that. huh? And I'm just surrendering unto you. So this is a mentality. This is the tattva that we have to practice. When we say bhakti, this is what we have to do. So in 10th shloka, Krishna uses the word jnana, maturity of jnana. So, jnana tapasa, bhavo jnana tapasa, uta mad bhava agata. So jnana tapasa. So what is the tapasya or austerity in jnana? Interesting point is when we are practicing this bhakti marg, right? At the same time, there are so many other philosophies and so many other ways. Karma kanda is available, yoga is available, jnana is available to practice. But I have chosen bhakti. So when I do bhakti, I tolerate all these other wrong things or wrong concepts that come in front of me. I tolerate that and I continue studying to understand Krishna. I continue my sadhana. So this is the sacrifice that I am doing. So that is what Jnana Tapasa means. And then Krishna uses the word Bhava. So Bhava means, Mad Bhava means love for me, which is the highest goal. So Prema is the highest goal, right? So Bhagavad Gita, though it's a philosophical discussion, but still it also is a emotional and bhakti discussion also, where Krishna also tells Arjuna, you do this to surrender unto me, uh, you give up this attachment and everything. You take my shelter, I will give you love for me. So this is something very intimate that Krishna gives. So that is the power of bhakti. Right? That is not possible by any other method. So he says, give up everything, rag, bhaya, krodha, absorb in me and take shelter of me. And this is the bhakti. From pure bhakti, Krishna is giving. And the result is also the same, like bhavam. That is the goal. Here also Krishna talks about bhakti. And then in the next verses, so here Krishna talks about the topmost goal, right? Prema Bhakti. So then this is okay. This is for one who understands your eternal nature. So what about the others who don't understand, right? Those who practice jnana, those who practice karma, those who practice Ashtanga yoga. What about them? What they will get from you? So this is what Krishna is going to explain from the next verse. Okay, that we will see in the next discussion. Okay, so I stop here now. And any comments or any questions or any additions anybody would like to do in this fourth chapter start, right? All the famous verses in fourth chapter. Interesting things. Thank you, Hare Krishna. If you want this, see, I am sharing these slides because I have written this as I understand or I read and I try to link, right? So, but if it is helpful and if somebody wants, I can share it, not a problem. It's not, I'm not something, it just what Srila Prabhupada or Vishwanath Chakravarti put there written. I'm just taking those points. It's nothing new here. Okay.
Well, if you don't mind, please share it, Prabhuji, because it'll be helpful to go through quickly every time.
Okay, okay. I will share this. I will put this in some Google somewhere.
Google
And
Drive.
share
Yes.
it. Yes, yes. No problem. Okay. Any other comments, questions? What is going
Thank you for answering the question and providing some relief, Prabhuji. From this chapter onwards, it's more they're getting a lot intense than like the previous chapters, is what I felt when Krishna starts explaining. Like it's been there, it's always there. It's just that it's forgotten.
Yes, but from fourth, fifth, sixth chapter, Krishna is actually what he's doing, that he is preparing ourselves to understand or to go into discussion of the topmost part of bhakti, right, from the seventh chapter. So that's how he's increasing the level of consciousness, not increasing depth of consciousness and depth of understanding. So it becomes more interesting now from here onwards. The knowledge and then the sacrifice and then the Ashtanga Yoga. So slowly it builds up. That's the wonderfulness of Krishna's explanation of Bhagavad Gita.
Thank you, Hare Krishna. Very nicely explained. And just I have a question. Actually, a lot of times we try to do things by ourselves without forgetting. I mean, with forgetting Krishna, without thinking about Krishna. Krishna will help. After we get stuck up or we couldn't solve, then oh yes, then we will think about the Krishna. How we can change in the beginning onwards, that we have to depend on Krishna, any activity. For example, physically, for example, well, cooking and offering food, yeah, I have to offer food, I have to worship, I have to clean for Krishna. Something we do that is like grass material senses, the mind, I am telling, mind, when we make a plans or whatever, we said something, whatever it is, when we use the subtle body, like mind mainly, forget Krishna totally, we put a lot of effort to find a solution for that or something kind of thing. Then we, after we get stuck up, we will think of Krishna, oh Krishna, I don't know what to do, like this. So how we can avoid, how we can make ourselves beginning onwards thinking of Krishna, whatever we do activity.
Yeah, so for that we need to change our vision of looking at ourselves and the world around us. Because we forget of this, because of this ignorance, right? The world around us and myself, I'm something different, right? We go into ignorance and then we try to control, right? But one way to practice it, right, is understand our insignificance. Okay, we are actually very insignificant. We think that we can control so many things, but it's not like that. It's not like that actually. That we have to imbibe in ourselves. So, best simple way is just hold your breath and you cannot live. After 10 seconds, 20 seconds, you have to breathe.
Yes.
So that is one way that I also do. Or sometimes, like now the sky is clear, right? Just go outside and look at the sky, right? How vast it is. Or just go to sea, beach, and just look at the water. Just go near Fujisan, you just look at the Fujisan. Like, we feel like how insignificant I am in front of all these things, and why I try to control everything. Right? But so that realization we have to do step every certain time. We have to remember, because we forget, right? Because we forget, then we have to
We
practice.
have more confidence on us, as you said it too much. I can do it. That's what without thinking Krishna we are doing. I'm doing.
or we say like, I don't need anybody's help. Basically, that is our problem. I can. That is our problem. But for that, we have to like Bhagavad Gita or Bhagavatam. And so when we read Bhagavatam, right, the 10th canto or Krishna book we read, we understand what is the mood of Panda, what is the mood of Kunti, what is mood of Vrindavan, Brajavasis. Uh, they never thought of themselves as something, right? They think as they are fully dependent on Krishna. Right? One way is when you get up in the morning, right? Or you are chanting, or we are reading, or now we are discussing, right? Whatever points we are discussing, whatever time we are getting, all this is Krishna's arrangement. Right? We should
Yes.
not think that, okay, I using my intelligence, I am
No.
using my time. That is problem, right?
Yes.
So in all the situations, in Shastra it is said there are the three points at which we should always remember God or Krishna or Vishnu. So first is in the beginning. When we start any activity, like we start, okay, discussing this. In the beginning, we should thank God and we should remember God. Okay, now I'm starting something. So please bless me, please guide me, okay, in this activity. And when we are doing that particular activity, in the middle of the activity, we have to again take a pause and remind ourselves why I am doing this activity. Okay, that is one thing. So you do in between, you remind yourself, I'm not doing this for showing my intelligence or my study or my greatness. No, I'm doing this so that I'm discussing Bhagavad Gita with 3, 4 devotees. So we talk about Krishna. That's it. And
That is okay. Now we are talking about Krishna. We are doing it for Krishna. But the material thing, material plan making,
whatever. So whatever activity we do, 3 times, beginning, middle, and end, we have to offer, at the end we have to offer it to Krishna, everything. So we make this practice, like, okay,
but
I
we
will.
are doing it for us, for ourselves. It's not offering food for Krishna, it's for Krishna. But we are doing it for ourselves.
Yeah, but we offer, right?
Yes, we are offering it.
Yes. So that
But
is
for
it.
example, if we go somewhere making plan or something, that's for our enjoyment, not for Krishna's enjoyment.
Yes. So see, I make a plan to go to, say, Hokkaido, because now it is very hot here. I go to Hokkaido. So I want, because it is little bit cooler there.
Yes.
I plan to 10 days go to Hokkaido and relax. Okay, fine. That is for our recreation or our relaxation. Yeah. So how we can mold it or how we can direct it towards Bhakti is,
Yes.
I'm going to Hokkaido so that I will get relaxed. And what I want to do after relaxing. That we have to think. Okay, I will go to Hokkaido. There little bit it's cooler. So what I will do? I will chant more, or
Okay.
I will read more,
Okay.
because I will be peaceful there, right? So when peaceful there, what I will do? Oh, I will read. Okay, I will read about Krishna. I will chant more. Or even if you don't chant or you don't read, okay, you go to Hokkaido, there are so many beautiful places, right? We go to see some waterfall, we go to onsen, we go to beach, we go to mountains. So when we are looking at these things, right, even a waterfall or even a sea or a mountain, we have to look how Krishna has created all
It
this,
is beautiful.
right? So we appreciate the existence of Krishna around us. So that itself is absorbing in Krishna. So then it does not matter where you are.
Okay.
So if you feel cool in Hokkaido, we have to think, right? How Krishna has magic.
Yes.
It's very hot it's very hot in Tokyo, but if you go 500 miles away, it's cool. How Krishna is maintaining all these things. How wonderful Krishna's nature plan also is like. So we appreciate Krishna in that also. Or
Understood.
even if you are traveling by car, for example, okay, we are traveling for 10 hours drive, for example.
Mm.
So if you start from here and you reach Hokkaido, right?
Mm.
Then we have to think, oh, how wonderful is Krishna, how merciful is Krishna that I came 10 hours drive, but nothing happened. I'm safe,
Mm.
my family is safe, my car is safe.
Mm.
So oh, Krishna is very merciful. He takes
Oh.
care of us. So if we do like this, then it does not matter you are doing it for yourself or
Oh, okay.
right.
But all the time you have to think of Krishna, thank of Krishna, appreciate Krishna. Okay, understood.
That will happen. Like if you have that, then Krishna will make you because Krishna says that Dadami Buddhi Yogam. In the
Okay.
text he says, I will give you intelligence. So
Okay.
Krishna gives that intelligence. You appreciate this waterfall. I have created it. So we appreciate. So we have to depend on Krishna also. But I just told few examples, very simple things that we can.
Very well understood. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
It's very much understandable. Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank
So
you,
it
Hari.
does not, yeah. So it does not matter we do for ourselves. Yeah,
Okay.
it's there, but at least we can. So 3 times in the beginning, in the middle, and at the end.
Okay.
Take blessing, and if everything is going right, thank Krishna. At the
Okay.
end, offer everything to Krishna. So like if we end the class now, so whatever we have discussed here about Krishna, whatever we have talked about Krishna, whatever we have understood about something more about Krishna, all this sacrifice, all this, we offer it to Krishna. Oh, this is for your pleasure, Krishna, nothing for
Ah,
me. I don't want anything like
okay.
that.
Okay, very well understood. Thank you so much.
No problem.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Okay, so we'll end today's discussion. Thank you very much for nice questions and keeping it lively. And next time we will take maybe 4.11 to say 10, 15 shlokas. Okay. Hare Krishna. Thank you very much. Bhagavad ki jai.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much, Prabhuji.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much.
4.11 to 4.11 to
4.11 to maybe 23 or 24.
20. Oh, okay. Thank you,
Where,
Hare Krishna.
where the sacrifice point starts, not till that point maybe we'll take.
Oh, thank you, Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Thank you very much for your time and discussion.